Hey, so I want to tell you about my favorite investment right now. Now, this isn't necessarily the best investment ever, even though right now it's looking pretty good. Before investing in this kind of thing, you definitely want to invest in the more safe methods like your Roth or your 401k and this kind of thing. Those are more tried and true over time. Those are based on how the market's doing, and you can kind of count on those a lot better than this. Now, that being said, if you have extra money and you want to invest it and you don't know where to put it, I think this is a great choice. Now, this is definitely not financial advice. I have no degrees in finances. This is just what I'm doing, so take it for what it's worth, which is very little. That being said, my favorite investment right now is through Prosper.com. I've mentioned this before a long time ago when I first started investing in it, and I let that initial investment sit there for a while before doing anything else. But now that I see what it's doing, I really like it, and I'm putting more money into this. So this is my investment portfolio on Prosper.com right now. As you can see, I have almost 3,300 in there, and it right now has a yield of 22.01%. That's pretty good. Best case scenario for the stock market usually is about 7 to 12%. So 22% is really, really good. Now there's a caveat here, and I'll show you here in a second. But let's just dream for a second. If over a period of 20 years, I invest $1,000 a month, at the end of 20 years with a 20% return, I would have $2.4 million. Now, of course, that's best case scenario. But let's say that it doesn't quite average 20%, but just averages 10%. Even still, it's almost $750,000 after 20 years. Not bad, not bad. So this definitely has potential. But kind of what I like about this system, at least the way that I'm implementing it, is that in a way, it is diversification, even within this one website. I'll show you what I mean. If I go into my notes portfolio, I can see all the different investments I have within this account. So if I click on one, this is one real person that I'm helping by loaning them money. You can see this one's for debt consolidation. You can see they are employed and various things about them. So generally, these are just people who are consolidating their debt. Maybe when they were younger, they made some bad choices. They racked up a bunch of debt with credit cards and major purchases, these kinds of things. And now that they're older, they have some income and they're finally paying off that debt. So in a way, I get the blessing of helping them pay off their debt as they consolidate it all into one big loan. And I also get a return from that. It's pretty cool. Now you can also see that even though they started at 31.4%, right now it's at 30.4%, probably because they've paid extra towards their principal, which is good. But it also says historically that this kind of loan only brings about 2.9 to 14.4%. Now that could be for one of two reasons. One, they pay off the loan way early, or two, they actually default on the loan and I eat the cost. I don't get paid back for what I invested in that loan. Those are the two scenarios. So Prosper.com is not without risk. If you lend money to somebody, there's always a chance that they won't pay you back. However, like I said, it's diversified. So as you can see, I only lent that person $25, but I've also lent a whole bunch of other people $25. In fact, I have pages and pages of all these loans that I've lent people $25. And each one of them has a different rate of return, and each one of them has a different projected rate of return as well. But right now, averaging all these things out, my rate of return is 22%. For what I'm considering to be a long-term investment, that's pretty good. Now, like I said, even if that comes down quite a bit, even half, I'd still be pretty happy with that investment. And of course, it's likely to come down as people pay off these loans, hopefully from their perspective, paying off these loans early. And even if some of them default, which certainly can happen, but I have more faith in people. I'm really looking forward over time to seeing this thing grow. Right now, I'm investing $1,000 a month into it. Over the course of 20 years, that's $240,000. But if it really stays close to that 20%, it really can grow to over $2 million in that time. So I'm looking forward to it, and I wanted to share it with you. Right now, this is my favorite investment. Not the safest investment, but my favorite. Tell me in a comment, what's your favorite investment right now? Do you have hopes of being a millionaire by the time you retire? I think you can do it, because if I can do it, you can do it too. I'm just an average guy.